So welcome to tonight's Team Weekly Prove It Promoter Hangout. My name's Alexis, and today is January 19th, 2021. I hope you all had a great long weekend, if anyone had an extra day off or it was just a regular week for me, and you're having a great start to your week. So we are going to start off tonight. I'm really excited to train on this because this has been working. I'm just really excited about some new things that I'm implementing in my business that are going to give me a really good pulse on where my business is and where it's going. So if I'm getting distracted by the comments, would anyone is anyone excited about the idea of having a better pulse on your business and these activities that you're doing and these directives that we have in the chat and kind of like really know where it's going? Does that excite anybody? Let me know. Raise the roof, something. Yay. Okay, because I'm really stoked about this. Okay, so let me grab my notes. Okay. So without some systems and some sort of organization of tracking our conversations and making sure we're having enough conversations, we're not necessarily going to be a business, right? Like I'm in a couple of business classes right now. I'm taking like accounting and business law and all these things. So I just know some of that's going to trickle in the more I'm into these classes. But one of the things that we've talked about before and that I constantly am hearing is that when businesses are looking at like money coming in and stuff and clients, if it's not profitable, if you're spending more than you're making, you're not exactly a business. So we're going to show you exactly how to track this. And I'm going to go over the DMOs, and yours might be different based on what your goals are, of course. So just know that, but I'm just going to share the one that I follow every day. And then we're going to specifically narrow in on content, right? So how to take conversations and make connections and relationships from people who are commenting on your lives, who are tuning into your lives, or who are commenting on any of your posts, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. So we're going to narrow in on that today. And the reason why is because when we go live or when we make a post, the same people are seeing that, right? If we're not adding more people to our friends list and we're not growing our audience and getting more exposure, more eyeballs, the same exact people are just going to see that over and over again. So I'm also going to touch on how I build relationships from different groups that I'm in and different groups that I'm joining, and how I bring that into my inbox and like build a little bit of rapport with them and then transition into asking them if they're open to learn about what I'm doing and what's really working for me. So let me share my screen with you a little bit or real quick. If I can share the right one. Okay, so this is just the one that I follow. Again, yours might be different. So I've been thinking about this a lot because I think when you're new, or maybe these are the basics, right? So even if you're not new and even if you've been here, like this is what I do every single day. And so one other thing too that I wanted to share that I've gotten back to is doing has anyone read that book? Is it Eat the Frog or Eat That Frog? I think that's the name of it. So the idea of the book is whatever your big priorities are for the day, or the main things like your non-negotiables that you want to get done for your business. The idea of this book is that you do it first thing in the morning before you do anything else. And so I've been doing that as part of my miracle morning routine, and it's been helping so much. And I've also been tracking the conversation. So another thing too about these activities is that when we do them consistently, our business grows, and they all work into one another, right? So the first one, if we're looking at it, it's add 5 new friends from groups you have joined. So one way that I do that is I just go onto my Facebook app or on my desktop and I click on groups, and I just quickly scroll and look at some of the new groups that I haven't maybe been in, haven't really commented, maybe I haven't introduced myself. And that would be one of the first things that I would do in a group. Another thing too is I join groups that I'm genuinely interested in. So in all different niches. So I'm in this interior design one because for a minute I was decorating my new apartment. Of course, I'm in a bunch of health and fitness ones. You don't have to do that necessarily, but we are in a health and fitness industry, and that is one of my passions. So those are just some of the groups that I'm in. I'm in a lot of like spirituality groups and manifestation groups. And so the next thing we have on here is message 5 current friends. So not only does this help people see your content who are on your friends list that might not be seeing it because of the algorithm. So when you're connecting with them via private message, your post will start showing up for them. So that's why we have this on there. And then comment and add value to 2 groups for 5 minutes each. So that isn't necessarily making a post. It's just going in and interacting. And so that's another great way to start building friends is, okay, yeah. So we have the first one, 5 new friends from groups. So when I'm commenting on there, I'm usually I'm commenting back things that have a little bit more like depth than just, oh my God, you look so good, or beautiful. You know what I mean? So I'm digging a little bit deeper. So what I would do is I would pick up something and actually read someone's post in that group, and I would respond to that, or I would ask them a question. Asking questions or asking for help in a group, whether it's whether you're making a post or it's in a response to someone else's post, is a really great way to start conversations. And it makes it really easy and natural, just like if you were in real life, to move that conversation into Messenger. And you can, and just, pick up from where you left off and, kind of go from there. So that's that one. And then ATM, which is ask tag message, right? So when I'm doing this every day, if you think about it, I'm not everyone's going to accept my friend request, but I'm having a good amount do, I've noticed, at least like 2 to 3 will accept my friend request. And when you have new conversations starting, it compounds, so it's never really it's never difficult to have an idea of who can I ask if they're open. And so what this means, or what I do with this, is I just scroll through, sometimes I'll do the green light challenge and see who's online right now in Messenger. If you've noticed, all of the little faces, the little blobs at the very top of Messenger, there's a green dot under them, and that means they're active and online. So what I'll do is I might shoot them a message, ask them something about their day or about how their week's going, or I might, even better is, I might go look on their Facebook page and see and check out the last couple of posts they've made and see if I can pick something up to actually ask them about in Messenger. Like, hey, I saw you made that that casserole, that looks really good. Could I get that recipe? And then once they respond to you from there, that's a really easy segue to being like, oh, also, I wanted to ask you, are you open to learning about what I'm doing for better energy and mood, or whatever benefit you want to zero in on? That's usually what I ask. And so from there, ask tag message, we can't control who's going to say, yeah, I'm open. But a lot of people will say, sure, right? Because you're not asking them if they'll give you money. You're not asking them if they'll buy a box of ketones, or you're not even asking them if they've heard of ketones. You're just asking if they're open. A lot of people will say, sure. And so from there, that's when I say, have you ever heard of pure exogenous ketones? No, yes, a little. Is it the diet? Whatever the response is, great. Well, they're amazing. If I tag you in a quick 4-minute video, will you watch it? Right? So the goal is to aim for 10 a day. And if you're doing what I do is I at least ask 10 people if they're open. And it might be a couple of days before they respond. From there, this is where I'm going to show you this tracker that I've been using. From there, when I ask someone, I put their name on a list. Okay. So some of you may already track your trials that you send out. So I've been tracking my trials that I send out. This is my little spreadsheet. Yours might look more organized. This is just makes sense in my brain. And somehow I organize the dates. So my little like headlines got rearranged. But anyway, I have a section for like, if I shipped it out, they get color coded green. If there's like an objection, maybe they're waiting for payday, I highlighted a certain color. And so anyway, this is where I track all my trials. But what I used to do is I also used to have my leads on here, but I created a separate one. And I really suggest that you do this. And I still have to, I just started doing this, so I still have to put some names on here. But anytime I ask someone if they're open, and that's in my DMOs every day, for me, it's 10 people, their name goes on. So here's the name. So their name goes on the list. I put where I talk to them. That way I'm not like searching all the 5 million social media apps. And then I put the status, said she was open. So the kicker with this, because as you can see, this could leave a lot of loose ends. And so there's a saying, fortune is in the follow-up, 100%. So what I have done is every Friday, because that's what works for my schedule, I scheduled an hour of follow-ups. So during that hour of follow-ups, I'm going to go back to my leads, this list right here, and I'm going to see where everyone's at. And if they haven't bought a trial yet, I'm going to go back to that conversation, see where we left off, and continue to take them through that ATM process and continue to ask them about the benefits, or, you know, wherever they're at, give them trial prices, ask if they're ready, let them know I'm going to the post office, ask if they want to put their name on one. Again, wherever they're at, even if the conversation has died, that's a really good thing a good script to use to pick up the conversation, is saying, hey, I'm headed to the post office on Wednesday. Just wanted to check back in. Do you want to put your name on a 5-pack so you can find your favorite flavor? So I actually sold 2 trials doing that today. But yeah, follow-up Fridays for me. And then I can make sure that, you know, I'm tying up these loose ends. People aren't falling through the cracks, and I can actually convert them to trial users. So the cool thing about this is it opens up your funnel, right? So everything that we have designed here on the DMOs gives you a better chance of people falling through that funnel. Like it's inevitable. But what's really cool is that when you do this regularly, and this is like your minimum, you know, non-negotiables in your business, every week you can go back. I got to show you one more. This is my 3rd spreadsheet that I have. So I title it monthly income and goals. And so what I'm doing from here, and I just started this. So I'm week by week, I'm writing down how many trials I sold and their name. And then what I can do is I can cross-reference really easily. This is just Google spreadsheets or Google Sheets. I can just really easy go back and see, okay, you know, I need to put the dates on here, but okay, I reached out to 10 people on that day. And overall in the week, look, I messaged 50 people, right? If I'm doing 10 people a day and I'm working 5 days a week, or maybe it's 70 people, then I can go back and be like, wow, when I did that, you know, obviously I'll be selling more trials because I haven't updated this yet, but I can be like, all right, I sold, you know, 30 trials, and maybe some of those will trickle into the next week as you follow up with them or whatnot. But the idea, do you get the idea here, is that you're just giving yourself a better opportunity to really run this like a business. And I'm so excited about this because we all know we don't have control over who says yes, but now I have control over of knowing, getting a good idea of, okay, when I talk to this many people, when I ask this many people if they're open, when I do the other DMOs, because it'll make asking people if they're open much easier. If we're in groups, we're making those posts. And to be honest, the DMOs don't take me that long, even the rank 6 ones. I think it maybe takes me an hour, right? Some of these other things, yeah, it doesn't take that long. So then we can have a better pulse on our business, like I was saying. And then if you do this for a month, maybe you start tomorrow and you do this for a month and you look back and then you see how much you made in your Prove It business and you go, okay, I can dedicate a little bit more time. I think I'm going to do the rank 7, or maybe for you, it's like, I think I'm going to do the rank 3 instead of the rank 2 DMOs, because we have graphics for all of these. And then you can just watch it grow. You can see how it correlates to how many trials you're getting out. And then another important step is I have 1 hour a week, whatever works for your schedule, where I follow up with trial customers, right? And so that's about, for me, it's all about the red carpet customer service. So when someone buys a trial from me, that's when it just begun. Like, that's when my work of being of service has just started. That's not where it ends just because I got their money and I'm like, oh, they're gonna like it, they're gonna be hooked. No, that's when I check in with them. I make sure they're tagged in how to take ketones and Hello Better. I make sure I shoot them a recipe of how to use Protones if I sent that in their trial. I really take care of them and I let them know, check in with me every day, etc. So because of that, during that 1 hour of a week where I'm following up with trial customers, I'm following up to find their favorite flavor, first question, and, see how they're doing, of course. And then second question, since you found your favorite flavor, let's get you set up on SmartShip so you don't ever have to pay full price. Would you like to hear about how that works? And so that's pretty much the gist of it. It's not super complicated. I've got 3 spreadsheets: trials sent out, leads, and income. So I can track how many trials I'm actually, more so the income one is to actually track income. So I can see, how much I'm making, and then setting goals for myself. Like, okay, I made $200 in trials this week. Like, I'm going to shoot for 250 next week, or whatever the number is. So real quick, back to DMOs, when posting. So we're talking about being able to build, this training tonight is about how to build relationships and cultivate those connections from your lives or from your content, right? So in the DMOs, we have the 5-2-1 or 10-4-1, whatever ratio you want to call it. So the one post, whether it's a post or a video, like for example, tonight I did a trial live and I'm selling these like sweetheart bundles for Valentine's Day. Those types of posts are going to work for you when you have done all of the other DMOs and when you're also sharing about other things besides ketones, right? When you're sharing about your hobbies, your family, things about you, it's going to be easier to build relationships off of any of those posts when you have more than just the ketones post. So that's a big key to it as well. This one says 4 lives a week on anything I like to do. And then, 1 live about keto, ketones, keto kitchen, depending, I don't do keto, but I do like I did a Costco grocery haul, live video, things like that. Attend the team call every Tuesday. So y'all already can check that one off. Update Instagram story at least 5 times a day. When sending trials, always share here. Sending pictures of the trials that you send out piques curiosity in people, especially when you're asking people if they're open. If people have been on your friend list even for just a little bit, like they're watching. They know that this is what you do, that you're of service, that you're the connect if they want to experience better. So the other one's pretty, I really wanted to narrow in on the lives and the content and how to build relationships. Let me just double check my notes to see if there's any points I wanted to cover. Yeah, I think that was pretty much it. Who's excited to implement this? And it's really simple, right? It doesn't seem overwhelming. And who feels more confident about where their business is going? Let me know in the chat. I'm going to figure out how to stop sharing. Stop share. Okay. Helpful. Amanda says helpful, more organized. Lauren says seems straightforward. Gary says sure is. This is awesome. Do you do a news sheet for each day? If you have any questions, let me know in the comments too, or just unmute yourself. No, I don't do a news sheet for each day. That would be way too many documents for my brain to handle. I already have like a million tabs open in my mind quite often with being a full-time student and working this business. So yeah, I just organize, I just put the dates. So Kaylee says it makes sense and will help. Yay. So what I do, if you can see this, like this is the income one, right? So the income one is obviously as a business, we should know like money that's coming in so we can tighten things up, set goals for ourselves, raise the bar a little bit higher each time. And then for the leads, I just need to add the date that I did this. So what I would probably do is just insert a column to the left and then label this date, and then voila, I can know like what day that was. And then I have a space here. So, and then sometimes I write them down by hand. So if I'm not on my laptop or something, so I just have to transfer those other ones in. Yeah, so I don't do it by, I'll probably do a new one every month. And, you know, that way I can just, and then I might have like one day, I don't know what you think about this, Hillary. I might have 1 hour a month where I go back and maybe look to past months of people.
Yeah, so I really recommend, I think that especially depending on how many people you're talking to. And so obviously her list, like I know this is like, I'm just going to throw you under the bus. This is something new that we were like, okay, I was like, you need to go track this stuff. So it's not all like filled in as like her normal like stuff. Like this is not this is like, let's put this together for y'all to see this now. But in general, like I think that it's important to review it for sure once a month, because the people that said no last month, maybe they're going to say yes this month. But I think if you're actually really talking to a lot of people, you want to kind of keep on looking at least on a week to week basis to see where your touch points of people are. Because if you don't sometimes talk to certain people, like this is the thing and this is the business and this is the truth. If you pique someone's curiosity, let's say you pique their curiosity this month and you don't talk to them for 2 months, they probably already bought from somebody else. Because there's other people in Pruvit, there's other people on social media. If someone really wants it that bad, they're not going to wait for you to get back to them. Like they're going to go find somebody and stuff. So yeah. I recommend really updating it. But the biggest thing with this, especially if you don't have that, if you're looking at it, you're like, oh my God, I don't have that many people to talk to, then the biggest thing right now is that part where it's saying add friends and build new relationships, like start to do that. So, there's that little section that says to add friends that you can do that. If you're actually doing the posts, so I think right now the thing is a bunch of people are doing lives and that's amazing. And so we have this thing where I'm just kind of segueing. So if you still have more things to talk about.
No, you're good. You're good. I was done.
So a big thing that we're going to that is really big in creating new relationships is just like she was talking about, this is like joining different groups and talking to new people, because the thing is Facebook, how the algorithm, and this is every social media platform has the people who already like you the most watching your stuff. So they've already seen it. So if you're, especially because the lives you guys are doing are amazing. Keep on doing the lives, but you always want to be adding new people so new people can see these lives, because the people who are already on your page, I promise you, they've already seen one of your lives. They might still need to watch more before they're interested. So you always want to be adding new people and you always want to be joining new groups. The one thing I wanted to just add on to hers, because it said like add 5 people a day, I want to give clarification. Let's say you do a post in a group and it gets a lot of people responding and they're telling you how amazing you look or they love your recipe or something like that. Request all the people that are commenting on it. Get all the people that are interested in you and what you're talking about. Don't just stop at 5. That's pretty much just this is a list that's if you only have an hour of time, that's all you got. And you got to get it in. The first thing that's most important is a conversation. The next thing that's the most important is doing a really good piece of content. Everything else, the one that's like the birthdays and the comment on this and all this, that's all extra stuff. That's like stuff to play with your algorithm, which is the least and most important part. The most important part is having and building new relationships and producing good content. Because there's like prospecting and then there's marketing. You can't really do one without the other. You got to be in this conversation with people and talking to people. And then you got to be putting out good content that people are interested in you. And guess what? Everyone has the ability to make people interested. But I think that, you know, especially now that some of you guys are doing the lives and you're like, I'm doing the lives, but I don't have any customers yet. It's because you got to still talk to some new people. So join some new groups and join some new things, because those new people don't even know you. They're going to be interested, especially if you meet them in a group and you guys have like a common interest. And how I view it with new people, it's honestly it's like the least threatening, because if they say no, they really don't even know you. Versus like someone that you've probably had on your page for like 5 years. You know what I mean? Like if some random person says no to you on social media, like whatever, just go make a new friend. There's 3 gazillion people on Facebook. There's 3 gazillion people on Instagram. Same thing with TikTok and all the other things. So if you're making new connections and they say no, like who cares? Just go make a new one. It's not something that's whatever. So really the whole thing with this is because this month, I'm just going to tell you guys, can I tell you the February challenge for the box a little early? Are you guys ready to know this early? So to this month, and you can still start, but not for the whole amount though. So this month, you know, it's the 3 lives a week on your page to get a free box of ketones. Next month, to get that free box, you need to add 25 people to Hello Better. So that's like 1 a day, less than 1 a day, because there's 28 days in February. But see, if I were a person that wanted to win that one next month, so do you hear what I would do if I was trying to win this next month? And I also like to win things. So I tell you the secret of how you win, like when you're actually trying to win stuff. You don't want to wait until next month to start your adding. You want to do it now where there's no cost to you, where it's like no big deal, there's no pressure. So you get super comfortable. So then next month you're like added a ton. And I'm just going to throw this out. There might be a prize for the person who adds the most, like a really good prize. So that's like an incentive, you know? So if I were you and you wanted to like win some prizes, and right now the prizes are just ketones. Like as our team grows, like these prizes are just going to get better and better and better. So if I know I want to get some really good stuff and cool stuff, I want to start practicing now. So I actually do have some announcements, but before I have some announcements, I don't know if Courtney's able to talk or not tonight. If she's even here, because I know she's like not feeling well with this reboot situation stuff. I didn't finish the reboot this time. I'm just owning it. Like it was just not working for me. But Courtney, are you able to comment any of this tonight, or are you just like in reboot land? Because her camera and her mic are off. So she might be just in reboot situation right now. Okay, so if she doesn't talk, we're gonna assume that. Before we have anybody else, I really do though, because I have some announcements. LT is gonna talk, but I wanted to bring up Jennifer Giordano. She just did her first live in Hello Better, and I wanted her to kind of just talk about that experience with all of you guys. Jennifer. Her camera is also off and stuff. Well, this is not my night for looking. LT, before we get into some other things, do you have any announcements?
Yeah, another perspective to kind of look at. So last couple of years, the markets have been doing really well. So I know a lot of our I guess targets that we generally talk to are millennials, a little bit younger, maybe under 40. But do know our products do help a lot of people, like my mother-in-law. That's one of the avatars that I focus on. Older people who are looking to retain memory and not lose cognitive ability. Right, that's our main product. When markets are really good, they're generally spending more money, and markets are good. So if you ever come into an idea that it's COVID or blah blah blah, people aren't they don't have jobs. That's just one segment of the market. And so if you understand, you're not only selling to one segment, right? So maybe you only appeal to younger folks, maybe start talking about your parents, maybe start talking about your older aunt, and you can shift that. But anytime there's a literal bull market, it's like right now it's ridiculous. A lot of these older folks, when I say older, I mean, in the retirement years, they have a lot of spending money. They have a lot of spending power due to the markets. So just like an example, most people who had just stuck their money in a generic index fund, like the S&P 500, made 20% last year, right? So 20% doing nothing, sitting on their butt and retired, and they're wanting to be healthy, they can draw down on that. So there's money literally in the markets to pay them. So don't get down on people not having jobs. I mean, yes, that's going to happen. But there are a lot of people who do have money. So just kind of reframe who your targets could be, or just, talk about who you can help and figure out that there is money there. Not just, everyone I talk to says it's expensive. It's probably because you're talking to the wrong people. So focus on that. That's all I got.
Oh, Courtney is here. Can you share?
Yeah, sorry about that. I was having some phone problems, so I had to log into my computer. So, and I'm sorry I missed a lot of this because of my issues. But we were talking about groups and stuff is what you want me to talk about, right?
And talking to people versus just videos and stuff, and how to use them both.
Okay, well, basically, one of the things I was thinking about today is y'all need to make, or everyone, I know I need to make a new list of this because I did this in the beginning, is I know a lot of y'all are making lives right now, which is great. I've been watching so many of y'all and I'm so impressed. I know a lot of you are coming out of your comfort zone, which is really good because that's when we grow, right? But a lot of the videos, you're getting a lot of the same people on your videos. Like I'll see a lot of y'all where you have the same people commenting, which is fine, but we need new eyes on this video. So to do that, the biggest thing I'd recommend right now is you've got to join groups. You got to join some groups, and you need to make a list of about 10 different things that you love. So like Alexis was talking about, if she's into like manifestation and health and different things like that. So you make a list of like 10 things that you love that's important to you, that you wouldn't mind actually finding a real friend that has those same interests, right? Because you don't want to go join a bunch of groups of people that you probably wouldn't be friends with in real life. So make a list of like 10 different topics that you like. It could be anywhere from DIY to home decor to cats to dogs to husbands. I mean, it could be absolutely anything. Dallas Cowboys, whatever. Find 10 things, write them down, put them on paper, and then just go search groups. Find some groups and start joining them and start making friends in there. You don't want to go spam. Don't go in there and throw out your link because they will block you super fast. But when I first started in 2013, when I first started network marketing and started building my following, this is exactly what I did. And a lot of people back then didn't know about that, right? So I just started joining groups. I started making friends. I joined a lot of mom groups back then, all kinds of stuff. But you want to do that. You want to get in there and you want to start making friends. Don't just throw out a piece of information hoping somebody will friend you. Go in there and comment back to people, support people. Put a time limit on your phone and say, you know what? I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes or 5 minutes, even 5 minutes. I'm going to spend the next 5 minutes and go in this group and just support a bunch of people and comment and talk to a bunch of people. And then go to the next group. I'm going to go do it in this group as well. These people, when they see you active, they're like, that's my tribe. That's the person I want to hang out with. And guess what? They're going to friend you. They're going to follow you. There's going to be more eyes on your videos. They could possibly share your videos, which is going to share it to even more people. It's all the compound effect, right? So, I mean, you do this, just 5 minutes makes such a huge difference. And once you become more active in the group, the moderators in the group will not see you as a threat. They're gonna be like, well, this person's genuine. They're in here. helping. They're in here, giving real, like they really care and really care, and then you can start posting some content in the group. Don't join the group and then immediately post content, because then it looks like you're just in there to get all you can, right? That's what I see big time, just in my personal group. People join and then immediately they're posting all this content. I'm like, oh, they're up to something, right? So you want to go in there and give value. You want to talk to people. You want to be friendly, right? Social media, more than ever right now, people are just craving. They're craving friendships, right? They're craving connection right now. So go in and make those friends, and they're going to come to your page. You're going to be like, who is this person? They're really nice. I'd like to be friends with them. And it's going to build those relationships. So 100%, I suggest that. Also, once you are doing these live videos, check out the people that are commenting on them. Go back and, message them when they've commented and just tell them thanks for supporting me on my video. People that share, what I used to do, I don't do it very often anymore because it's quite a bit, but when people shared my video, I would go on to their page and comment on after they shared it. And I'd be like, thank you so much for sharing my video. People love that. Guess what that's going to make them do? They're like, I'm going to go share their other videos, right? Because they're like, they talked back to me. They said this. So they're going to go and probably share all of your videos, right? What else do you want to talk about, Hillary? That's the biggest thing I felt like.
So what I wanted you to kind of touch on though, so I think that what you're sharing is really great value, and I have one little thing to add to it, but the thing I wanted you to kind of share is, how in your business now this time when because you were always producing content, when you're producing content, but now when you've been in your inbox talking to people, how your business is improved. Because I want people to understand, like, it's a 2-part street.
Oh, well, yeah. How about I talk about how I used to sell versus now? Because one day I was talking to Hillary and I'm like, I was going back through some old messages, some people that I spoke to back when I started this in 2013, right? And I was blown away. It was literally word vomit, right? I would copy and paste the same thing to everybody, and it was just like, my product does this, blah, 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 like everything. And I would literally send them 5 paragraphs of information. And then I'm like, they never responded back to me. So I did that all wrong. You want to, don't just, even when someone asks, can I get information? Don't just go in and, word vomit on them. Talk to them, find out what their needs are, find out what their health goals are, what is important to them. Don't word vomit. Like I did that for way too long and I'm quite embarrassed. So it's funny though. I'm glad that I was able to go back and see that, but I just want to encourage you, like, have the conversations, like, and realize that there's a big chance they'll probably say no right now. But you're giving them all that information. You're building that friendship. And I have so many people, especially with ketones, that say no as of right now. And then a month later, they're messaging me, or after I'm reaching out to them, because follow-up is huge. And I haven't been the best person at follow-up, and I'm really learning to do that. And when you're following up with these people, I mean, they see, well, wow, this wasn't just a one-time thing. She was trying to get my sale. She was actually genuinely interested in what my goals and stuff are. Because I'll go back and I'm like, we're halfway into the first month of the year. How are your goals going? And they're like, you know what? I think I'm ready to do this. So just because they're saying no right now doesn't mean no forever. You got to do the follow-up, but you got to also build the friendships. And the more you talk to them, the more you're building those friendships, the more, again, just like Alexis said earlier, you're going to be showing up on their pages. You're having these conversations. You're now showing up on their pages. Guess what? You want more people to show up on your page, right? You got to talk to more people. You got to communicate to more people, right? Not just word vomit on them.
Yay. Absolutely. So
So I am rebooting right now, and I'm just like, it's been a really tough day. Let me just say.
So I think something to add to Alexis's list that she just showed us is like, when you get that no, like write down like 30 days later to just ask them, hey, how are your goals going? Cause like maybe a lot of times people say no because they're like, it's not that bad. I kind of sort of feel tired, but whatever. A month later, let's be real, they probably haven't changed anything and things are probably going a little worse. So, Alexa says
said a great idea.
Set an alarm to follow up with them.
That's a good idea.
Something else that I wanted to say with Courtney, because you shouldn't right away just be like, oh, do you want to buy my product? Once you're talking to them, what Alexis said was what you need to do is, are you open to seeing a video? Because then what happens is you get them into Hello Better. And then in Hello Better just now, and we're going to talk about this in a second because I have some really exciting news and a good script for y'all. What happens is they're in this group, all these people are talking, all these people are doing videos, all these people are excited about the flavors and the sales. And guess what? Then they want to be part of that too. So even if they say no, even if they say they aren't ready to buy, you still want to get them in front of that group. And that's why you want to ask them to get in the group first before you ask them anything. So you want to say, are you open to seeing a video? If you get them in front of that video, one, they're going to be kind of curious because this is a really good video, y'all. Russell Brunson did this and he's like the best marketer in the world. So we have a really good video. So people are going to be really curious about the video. That video is great. Hello, it has a little body. You see it with the like campfire and the little thing. And people are like, I cannot believe that we process energy that way. Oh my God. How many of you guys were like that when you first saw the campfire video? You were like, what? I can't believe it. So if you're not showing people that video, they're not going to say, I can't believe it. And then you're not going to get people. I don't know if she's on. Oh, she is on here. So someone who I think has been doing so good lately, Tina, is relatively new. And I swear I see her getting all these new people in the video and stuff. She's like getting all these people and she's been selling trials. Like, it's because she's getting people in front of that video, you guys. So keep on doing that. So is anyone else, is Jennifer, are you able to talk? Because I really did want you to share with everybody about your live that you just did in Hello Better because you just did your first live. I don't know if you're going to be able to talk because you say you have technical difficulties. So Jennifer, are you able to talk about that experience or not?
Yes, I think I figured it out. Can you guys hear me? Okay. So going live was always very uncomfortable for me. I just am not someone who ever liked to be, seen or had picture taken or do a video. But doing the lives on my own page was kind of a baby step. And I feel like I'm, just growing with confidence with that. But when Hillary tonight asked if I would do the taste test in the group, I thought I was going to pass out. Because, it's one thing to do it on my page with just my friends and family and, some people I've been adding, to do it in a group with, I don't know what are there, 5,000 people in there? It was just a completely different sense of anxiety, but I did it and I'm very happy that I did it. I feel better than ever about it. And I think I did a good job. I don't know. All I know is the cider flavor is amazing. And if you didn't get it, you need to. So I know that.
No, you were so good. You were so good. Seriously. I don't know. Courtney,
I feel like I play with my hair a lot and repeat the same things over and over again, but I'm getting better.
But the thing is, your excitement was there, and that's what people are buying on y'all's videos. They're buying the excitement. They're not buying, like, yes, we're trying flavors and stuff, but that's why people are tuning in. They're like excited because we're excited. Like, that's literally all these taste tests and stuff are. It's just showing how excited, because most people aren't excited. Remember about life before the ketones, y'all? We were all sad. We all had no energy. That's how everyone else in the world is. So when they're seeing it and seeing us doing it, they get really excited. So now I have a really exciting announcement, and I'm going to give you guys a really good tip. I hope Virginia is listening because I know she is going to be excited about this because I know that this is one of her favorite flavors. How many of you guys love Heart Tart? If you love Heart Tart, I want you muted myself. If you love Heart Tart, will you just comment in the chat below if you love Heart Tart and stuff. So I am going to give you some things, and if Virginia can talk after I talk, I would definitely love to give her to give a shout out about how she does this. But we are going to talk about, with these new flavors come out, how many of you guys, when we're in Hello Better, you see me kind of do a teaser post a lot? Like I'll do a teaser post and I'm like, raise your hand if you love this. How many of you guys see that? So you want to be in Hello Better because and you want your customers in there, because guess what happens? They start commenting on the teasers and then you really get an easy sale. So that's one reason you want people in Hello Better, but also it helps you make your wait list. So we're going to talk about wait lists, and when we get these news that new flavors are coming, how to really start making wait lists with your existing customers so that when the new flavor comes, it just comes. So I don't know if you guys saw the other day, Virginia, we were in the chat, like the flavor came, I didn't even know the flavor came out. And the only reason I knew is because she was like, sold 2 apple cider. And I was like, oh, I guess it dropped. It's because she uses wait lists. So we're going to talk about how to kind of sort of do that with certain flavors. And then I'm going to give you guys, if you're okay with it, a really good script for Heart Tart lovers. So are you guys ready for the script for Heart Tart lovers? And if you are, I want you to say yes below. So what I want to teach you to do, and this is how you're going to go through wait lists for different ways, because you guys are all going to be at different stages of your business. So the first step, and I'm not going to show you how to do this. And guess what? I'm not going to do a video. You're going to all figure it out because you guys we're all adults. So everyone's going to commit to this. They're all going to be figuring it out themselves, right? Okay. In your back office, you can find all the people who have ever bought Heart Tart from you. You go to your insights and you check it. So that's step 1 using Prove It. So can someone write this down for me also? Step 1, check your insights using Prove It with the flavors. Step 2, check the teaser posts. If you had someone comment, let me tell you something. If someone comments on the teaser post, 75% chance they'll buy yes, if you ask. I promise you, 75% chance they're going to buy if you ask them, if they comment on the teaser post. Number 3, this is the good one. This is a kicker. On Facebook Messenger, what you can do, see the part at the top that says search? You can kind of see my screen. And Messenger. I'm going to type, well, I don't like Heart Tart really, so that's not going to come up for me. But let me comment reboot. Look at how many messages I have with the word reboot in it. I didn't click it because I had to click see more. So look, it's loading. Look at all these messages and more coming up, more coming up. So those are all the people that I've talked to about the reboot in the past. So when something comes up, all I have to do is, after I've done the insights, after I've touched the thing, when I give you this really good copy and paste message, when these new flavors come, and especially as your customers get bigger and bigger, all you have to do is copy and paste and let people know that it came and stuff. And if you do this wait list, what makes it really good is I'm going to tell you the message to right now. Then when it drops, you already have people that said yes, and you just have to say, it's here, smiley face. That's literally what I do when things launch if they're on the wait list and they already have opted. I say, it's here, smiley face, because they're already interested. So this is the Heart Tart message. I want you guys to, I'll copy and paste it in the chat, but I want you to write it down so you understand. OMG. I know you love Heart Tart. Our next Mexican ketone flavor is going to be like Heart Tart. This gets you into ketosis instantly versus 59 minutes like Nat. Do you want to be on the wait list so you don't miss it? So hold on. I'm gonna just copy and paste this one. Oh, it's already on here. I'll drop it in there. Hold on. Gotta delete my other messages and go to the top. So the reason this message is going to work, I'm going to break it down and tell you guys so you guys understand all this. And this is for your existing customers, because honestly, for newer flavors, this is how it works. If they've already bought ketones, and I feel like Alexis can test this because she already has like a bunch of people that I know that are already going to buy this. I know she has already like 3 people that have told me they want it, because guess what? They responded to my teaser post. So I know they're going to buy. What happens at first is if they haven't tried ketones really, they're going to buy some from you. They're not going to want to buy a whole box. So you also want to do this early so you know how much, like if you need to get 1 box or 2 boxes or 3 boxes for trials, like you want to know. But you also want to do this when new flavors and stuff come out, because your best people who are obsessed and who love Heart Tart, guess what? They're not going to want a trial. They're going to want the whole box for themselves. They might want like 2 or 3 boxes, how much they like this. But if you don't get them on a wait list, then what happens is you're waiting, you're trying to do all the work when they drop stuff. And so, you know, we don't always know, like we don't always get the flavors early. I'm working on it to get it early for our team. But we don't always get them early. But if we always get wind of it and I say this is coming out, then now that we've gone over this, you know what to do to make wait lists. Because this is part of the business, even though the new people is the most important. Like what Alexis went over with y'all is the most important. Like it's the most important to always get new people. This is how to get your existing people to continuously buy and to have people get more than once. And also people just really like ketones. So, oh God, this is taking me so long. Hold on. Let me just search. Oh my God. I have a lot of notes and it got really, oh, here, I got it. So the reason this message works so well, these type of messages when you write it is, number 1, you're starting off with excitement. That's the, oh my God. I know you love. So you're selling to this person personally. I know that this is your favorite thing. Then you're telling them what it is. You're giving a little bit of a description. And after that, you say, do you want to be on the list so you don't miss it? Or you could say, do you want to be on the list? I don't want you to miss out. So it's making it all about them. So you guys understand, if you take the time to do this, especially if you're getting people in Hello Better, how it's just like, you could be, when a thing drops, you could like be making a sale instantly. Does this make sense to people? If you guys get this, say yes. Yay, I'm so glad. I don't know if Virginia's here, if she can talk, but if she can, I would love how you could share how you work. You do these wait lists like every time, because I know like every time you do it, like you're always like the first one I see a sale, but I don't know if you're here or not. Virginia, are you here? I don't know. She's at work, I think, sometimes too, but so she might not be able to hop on, but that's how you do it when you're super busy. So if she can do it when she's working like a gazillion hours a week at work, right? And like get the wait list going, so can everybody else. So right now with this new flavor, I've already done 2 teasers. I'm about to do the 3rd one, which is a picture of this Mexican ketone. Oh, she's at work. I'm about to do a 3rd one, which is a picture, and I'm going to drop it in our team chat. So then check if any of your people end up commenting on it and write their names down. But the first thing is check, especially this one tastes like Heart Tart, check the Heart Tart. Second thing, check if they've already bought the Mexican ketones. Because that's the thing, I think sometimes we get in our head, we're like, oh, like this person bought 1 thing this month. And then like you're afraid, like how many of you ever do that? Like someone bought 1 thing and you're afraid to, you're afraid to kind of reach out to them to see if they want something else. Like you're afraid. Alexis admits it. She's like afraid. So how many other people, like they've had someone to buy 1 thing and they're like kind of afraid to reach out because they bought something. LT said, yeah, come on. I know they're not the only one. Like, come on, like be honest, you guys. Amanda. So I'm going to just say something because I get that way sometimes too. But think about it. You're putting your limitations on someone else when you do that. So I'm gonna repeat that. Virginia says she's done that too. You're putting your limitations on someone else Like, you don't know what they're going to like. You don't know what they're going to want. You don't know if they're going to feel left out or something, you know? So you don't want to put your limitations just because guess what's going to happen? This is what's going to happen. I'm going to be honest. Either they're going to be so excited, they're going to buy. So that's the best scenario. Number two, they're just not going to answer your message. And very rarely are they going to tell you no. So you don't have to be afraid of the no, because guess what? On social media, no one says no. It's just a nothing. It's just a, because they don't want to be rude, because they're like still kind of thinking about it and they don't want to say no, but you know, they don't really want to hurt your feelings. So they just don't say anything. And then if they don't say anything, they could just come back 6 months later to you. So Alexis says she's had a lot of people upset. Exactly. So you want to let people know as soon as possible. So right now I'm being honest. We know about this now. I don't know if it's going to drop tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to drop Thursday. My guess is probably Thursday, realistically, because I haven't seen all the people do taste tests and stuff yet. I've only seen like one person. So the thing is, I would start doing that thing tonight. That script I just said, go and get that now. So when it goes da 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 da. So what Virginia says that she does that also works is she is at work, but she shared something. And you guys, I get not everyone wants to do it. Like, honestly, like, don't on your page every time, like, be like, a new flavor is coming. But in your stories, like, start sharing that there's new flavors every time. On your page, I would only do it if you're, like, actually really excited about it. So, like, I don't really like the peppermint mocha, but like, let's say I knew that one was coming back. That would be a good example to be like, it's coming. Like if I know Eclipse or something is coming, I'll probably do a post. When they do the Lemonade Dolce, because I like that one better than this one, I'll probably do a post or something. You don't have to do it at every single one, but do it your favor. So Virginia says what she does. We'll have to find this. I'm getting all these. Oh. She does a post for the new product, and then she says, like, do you want to get on a wait list? So she has a chat for all her customers. If you have something, then you want to ask, like, hey, but don't just say, do you want to do it? A lot of times, like, you want to use that pump up language. Oh my God, something new is happening, and get people pumped up, and then ask and stuff. But if you don't have that, that's okay. If you're new and you don't really know and you don't have that many people, then I would just kind of keep on checking to make sure if any of your people respond to the stuff that's in Hello Better, and keep on adding new people in until you have the resources that do it. But everyone that has some things, this is the time to like get this going, because you know, when you do this up front, and then what happens is when something drops, it's like sale, 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 sale. And then you feel like so awesome because you're like, oh my God, I've sold 20 million things. And in your brain in that moment, you think you've done no work and you think you're so amazing. It's just that you did the work like 3 days ago. So, and then Virginia, what she does is she gets all these people to an Excel spreadsheet. So just like Alexis showed you that Excel spreadsheet, start putting all these people that say yes, like into an Excel spreadsheet or on your notes. Cause I use my notes a lot in my phone, because then you do it. And then if you're really lazy, because sometimes I get too lazy, that little search thing I showed you on Facebook, that's it too. And also, like, if you ever forget to add people to the thing, you can look up ketone. You can look up all these things in your Facebook Messenger, especially if you're like on the go and stuff. But you can have that Google Sheets thing she showed you on your phone. So Jane she tries to focus on exactly how many times she bought more than once when she was a customer. So that's really, really important. So many of you, we were all customers first, pretty much. You know, so many of us bought this so many times, like as customers before we became a promoter. So we have to think like that's how people are. Like so many people, like they want to know about this. Like they're so excited. Heart Tarts are their favorite. They like drinking like sweet tart candy or whatever. And this is like their soda to them. They're like excited. So that's the energy. You don't want to be like, oh, because they bought one time. Because maybe for you, you know, also you don't know how much money people have. Just like Lawrence was saying that, like, I don't know. Some people like have more, like I have this one customer. I don't know what he does for a living. I don't really care, but he buys like $1,000 of ketones from me every month. He's never going to do this. I mean, I don't know, but that's pretty nice. I don't sit there and be like, oh, I don't know if you can get it. He already knows 1,000. So I always say, every time I say, hey, and Courtney, I bet, don't you have some customers, they just buy every single thing? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, she's actually now a promoter. Jane was probably my biggest customer. I mean, she probably has as many ketones as I do, which is a lot. But what are you saying? She's saying something. Unmute her. I want to see what she said. Oh, she just agrees. But yeah, I actually have, I have quite a few customers that they'll send me pictures of their stock, you know, how much they have. And I'm like, you know, because sometimes I'm like, oh man, do I need to even tell anyone that? I'll feel bad for telling people. I'm like, but if I don't, they get mad at me. You know, I literally have had people get upset, very, very upset with me for not telling them something was available. And it was my own fault because I'm like, I just told them something. I can't tell them something. But listen, we don't know other people's finances. We don't know what they can and can't pay for or afford or what's important to them, right? So, I mean, I will always, I mean, I've learned that since I've had enough people get mad at me, just tell them all. And it's their choice whether or not they want to take it or not. But yeah, we're not being very, if we're not telling them, it's our own fault that we're not getting those sales. So, yeah.
So before we wrap up, I just want to ask you guys for two commitments. First commitment, who is committed to doing that list and stuff with their DMOs that Alexis showed us? Like, who's committed to tracking what they're doing, adding themselves to new groups, and having new conversation with Alexis, what she showed us? If you are, comment yes in the comments below if you're committed to doing that. I did see some more yeses, y'all. Yes, yes, yes. Let's get committed. The next thing is, because since we know this new flavor is, and we just learned how to work waitlist. And Alexis, will you copy and paste me what I said so that we can get that made into a graphic? Since we just all learned about how to do this waitlist, who for this next one that we know is coming out, who's going to do the waitlist? Even if they have one customer or they have, I don't know how many customers Courtney has, like 2,000. If you have 1 or 2,000 customers, are you going to be committed to doing this wait list for this next thing? Say I am for the next one, because yes was the first and then I am for the next one. So I know that you guys are all doing it. Yay. Well, this is good. So I don't have anything else to say. I'm going to give it back to anyone else who wants to talk and stuff. We're a little bit late, but I'll be doing as soon as we wrap up in like 5 minutes. I'm going to make the transition to do that Smart Chip Zoom and Hello Better. So Curtis and I are about to go live where he's just going to, just like last week, we had that video about all the products, right? So we can tag it with people or future people. We're about to do the Smart Chip one, and as soon as this is done, so then our future people can understand Smart Chip when Curtis is telling them, because he just sounds really smart. So
yeah,
that's all I have to say. And everyone else,
love it. Thanks so much, Hillary. Yeah, I've been tagging everybody in that video with Curtis and Hillary explaining all the different products. And I haven't even watched it myself. I've seen Curtis speak a number of times, so I know it's brilliant. But everyone that I tagged in that, money objections today, tagged 2 people in that. They already sent me money for a trial after. They wanted 143, they wanted Protones in it. And so yeah, I'm excited for this Smart Chip video. And thanks for everyone that showed up. We'll post the recording. So if you have a friend or a promoter that couldn't make it live tonight, make sure they get that link too. And we'll see you next week. Bye, everyone. Thanks for coming.